that found the foundation of the state of Medina is what, for the next 700 years, was the greatest civilization on earth. And what were those principles? The state of Medina was founded on incredible principles of justice and humanity. It was the first time a welfare state was made, a state that took responsibility of the weak, what China has done right now. That was the state of Medina, where first time a state took responsible for its poor, its weak, its orphans, its widows. In the state of Medina, the first time pensions were created. Old people were also, it was a humane state. And secondly, there was justice, rule of law. These were the two main things. And the third thing, the Prophet of Islam, peace be upon him, made seeking knowledge a sacred duty. The word was that even if you have to go to China to seek knowledge, you must. Those days going to China meant not coming back. So the emphasis on seeking knowledge. For the next 700 years, all top scientists were Muslims. And that was the state of Medina. It laid that foundation. And then the way minorities, other religious people were treated. The Prophet signed famous, the Misaq-e-Medina. There's still a letter in St. Catherine's Church which was signed with the Christians, that your places of worship will be, till the end of time, they will be protected by Muslims. Secondly, that no forcible conversions would be in Islam. Thirdly, the Prophet's last sermon, it is a charter of human rights. It's about how human beings are equal. So it was a humane state created, rule of law, emphasis on education, that led to the growth of Muslim civilization. So this is, in Pakistan, we want the same basis of our state. The rise of what I believe, the way our country will rise, it will go back to those principles. We must, number one, have rule of law, everyone equal before the law. State must be accountable. We must have a welfare state where the state must take responsibility of its poor people. Half our population is on the poverty line or just above, and about 25% are below the poverty line. The state must take responsibility. All policies of the state must be, like in China, how do we lift the people from the bottom? And the most important thing is that we must, in Pakistan, start a reform program. Reforms are painful, but it is essential if we have to get out of our current problems. So, first of all, I joined politics in '96. From '96 to 2013, there was a very small party. Most of the time, it was one step up and 3 steps down. The first election I contested, we were wiped out. Second election, 5 years later contested, we had only 1 seat. Third election, we boycotted, and most of the time people made fun of me, thought we would never make it, because I'm an outsider. I wasn't from the political class. But one big lesson from sports which I learned, you only lose when you give up. So kept learning from my mistakes, kept getting up, falling, getting stronger. Eventually, we formed government in one of the 4 provinces in 2013, and it was the KP province, which was devastated by war on terror. It was on the border of Afghanistan, the tribal areas, the whole fighting took place in that region. The police was devastated by attacks. We had 70% of industry closed, and KP has a reputation that they only give you 1 chance. Each government comes once, it's ousted the next time. So we came in a coalition government, and we started our reform programs. First of all, we started spending money on human development, health and education. Secondly, we did, first time in Pakistan history, no party had done before, we started spending money On climate change, Pakistan is about 8th in the countries that are most vulnerable to climate change. So we took this ambitious mission of planting 1 billion trees in 5 years. And then we reformed the police, depoliticized our police, depoliticized our bureaucracy, and then started tourism. Because KP has a lot of tourist sites. It was the center of Buddhist civilization, so religious tourism, but we have the best mountain scenery there. So anyway, by the end of 5 years, we had half poverty in those 5 years. The poverty had gone half. And a province which never gave you a second chance, we came back with 2/3 majority in 2018. Not only did we win there, then we formed government in the last election. We got 17 million votes, which is the highest ever won by a party. And so now we have our reform agenda. And as I repeat, reforms are painful. You know, when you take reforms, when you make reforms, people suffer. They go through a difficult times. It's like a surgery. When you conduct surgery, for a while, the patient suffers, but then he improves. The worst thing that can happen to a society is that you keep postponing reforms because of the fear that you will have opposition, the vested interest will stand up, and you don't do reforms. So we've started on an ambitious reform program. That's number one. We are trying to change improve all our economic policies. We have trying to cut down our fiscal deficit. We are trying to improve exports, cut down our imports. We have unfortunately had to raise bills because we came up with, when we got into power, we had massive fiscal deficit and current account deficit. So we are doing that. But in my opinion, Pakistan now has a chance. Already we are seeing optimism. Investors are coming into our country. We feel that this is the time that Pakistan will take off. The most important thing, and while talking to Sheikh Mohammed last time, he told me something very interesting. He said that you must allow businesses to make money. Investors must make profits. And the reason is simple. If people don't come into business for charity, they come into business to make money. So if they can make money, more people come and invest. So this is what we've done. We have started working on ease of doing business, making it easier for people to do business, easier for the investors. We are changing our tax laws, which were very cumbersome. So we are conducting a series of reforms. And already we're seeing the signs of the country improving. But most important, Pakistan has the best tourist potential. At the moment, we have hardly any tourism compared to other countries. But Malaysia, with just beach tourism and resorts, Malaysia has $22 billion it makes from tourism. Turkey, with beach and historical sites, beach tourism, Turkey has $42 billion from tourism. Now, Pakistan has probably one of the best mountain scenery anywhere in the world. Half the world's highest peaks are in Pakistan. Pakistan has 1,000 kilometers of coastline. Pakistan has the oldest historical monuments, probably as old as anywhere in the world. We have Indus Valley civilization, which is 5,000 years old. We have Peshawar, the oldest living city in the world, 2,500 years. Lahore and Multan, ancient cities. But what we have, probably more than any other, hardly any other country has, is religious tourism. We have, for Muslims, we have the Makkah and Medina of the Sikhs. The Sikh religion has the two holiest sites in Pakistan, and we have just opening those sites for Sikhs. And we have opened up a visa regime First time in Pakistan we